Hey, welcome everybody. I'm Jason with Fat Fender Garage, and we're in the sunny Gilbert, Arizona. The sun's blaring. It's early morning. It's going to be roasting today. But right behind me, we have a really cool 1970 Chevrolet C20. What's a C20 versus a C10? Well, C back then stand for conventional pickup truck, essentially, and the 10 and the 20 just differentiated, you know, half-ton, three-quarter-ton. And so this would have been a three-quarter-ton pickup truck. You could have gotten it with a couple of different straight sixes, a small block, a big block, but you can see with the badging on it, had a V8 and Chevy 350. So would have been a really cool truck back in the day. Would have had, you know, the horsepower a lot of people were hoping to get with a 350, and then obviously it was a little bit of a work truck because they purchased it as a long bed, so it could do a little bit more than what a half-ton pickup truck short bed would do. So this guy's had it, and it was in Idaho. He shipped it down here, and so we decided to, for what he wanted done to it, was a brand new chassis, supercharged, a new interior, and a daily driver for him. So mission accomplished, and we've actually delivering it today. He's got a freight company coming to pick it up. And so we wanted to go through it and kind of show you what a Revival Series is. So 1970 Chevy pickup truck, Revival Series Level 1. And so this is a Level 1 truck where it's lower than stock. We didn't mess up the bed, so there wasn't like having to raise the bed. We didn't have to change a lot of the sheet metal. And so it kind of kept the process of taking the sheet metal, swapping over onto a chassis, a little bit smoother. When you get them slammed down to the ground, you know, all this bed has to come up, inner fenders come up, and we have to, you know, create space. But this makes it a little bit easier. So with this Chevy, you know, a little bit of light tunneling, but very light with a little bit larger trans tunnel on it, but otherwise pretty simple. Let's kind of show you what that looks like underneath the hood here. So underneath the hood, you've got a LT4 supercharged motor, and basically supercharged just means fast. You know, you're gonna have a lot of horsepower. You're gonna have about 650 horsepower, and in a light truck like this, it's plenty. Of course, you try to get as big a tire as you can in the back so it can hook up. And having that little longer drive shaft and a little bit length to it, it actually helps it hook up and stay a little bit tighter. So we've got this set up underneath here. Of course, we got air conditioning. We've got, you know, your Wizard radiator here. You got brushless fans. You've got your supercharger overflow tank and your reservoir for power steering and all the little simple things that you need. Your intercooler right here, and everything is kind of built and stacked up, ready to go. Very nice package. We're super happy with how this turned out, and it runs amazing. Again, this is all factory firewall. We just cleaned it up and painted it, and repainted these. And so this kind of cleans it all up so it looks a little bit nicer when you pop the hood and show your friends. Revival Series essentially from here is just about getting your truck onto a chassis and what that's going to look like. We've upgraded the tires and wheels here. Obviously we've used Detroit steel wheels, and then we've got some Falcon tires on here. It's hard to find front and back tires, and so sometimes you have to change brands. Maybe it's a Michelin, maybe it's a Pirelli, and you have to just kind of find the right ones that will fit the wheel size and tire size you're looking for. And so we've got these Falcons on here. We've got on the back, I think we got 11s on the back for wheels, and then we are a 285 40 20, so it worked out perfect and gives us enough meat back here to, you know, make it happen. Of course, we've got a full Porterbuilt chassis underneath here, ready to go. And then check out this interior. So the interior obviously can be completely upgraded. You've got new Dakota digital gauges, brand new leather interior. Now this is a kit that we actually make, so you could actually purchase it. There's actually a full video that our interior sales guy did, Logan, on all the interior and talks about the Chevy stuff. So maybe you can go to our YouTube and you'll find that video there if you want to know about the interior packages. But really cleaned up Focal stereo system, Moscone amp, and then retro sound radio. Real simple, clean looking, still original-ish, and with a little bit of upgrade, of course. You know, we want it to be just kind of clean and have a good time in it and feel good with it and drive. So Revival Series really isn't about like having a show truck. It's about really taking your truck, reviving it, bringing it back to life, and to where, you know, when you lean against it, right, you're like, oh, don't scratch the paint when they're show vehicles. This is more about just having a good time and driving it, but having performance, having the reliability, and just be able to jump in and go anywhere. So, which is what we want to do. We actually want to jump in it and just go for a drive and let you guys kind of ride along with me. We can talk about it and see how she performs. You guys ready? Let's do it. All right, are we ready? Well, let's go for a cruise. So this truck has power windows, just kind of one touch. That's kind of cool. Makes it easy, you don't have to sit there and hold it. So you kind of have to do your drives in the summer early in the morning, otherwise it's too hot. It's already 100 degrees and it's only 7 o'clock in the morning, so, but it gets a lot hotter. So really for comfort, I mean, the steering wheel we got is a Spark Industry steering wheel, and it's just the right size rather than, you know, driving with a big old school bus steering wheel, and they do such a good job with it. We like to use a Flaming River steering column, and that's because it allows us to kind of push it, you know, push the steering column down a little bit and get just a little bit more room. That way I'm not driving like this. You know, you're just trying to find some ways to kind of make things more ergonomically comfortable, because they really weren't back then. They didn't really care about comfort. It was just more about function. And as you try to make it more comfortable, you have to give a little bit of attention to some of those little details in the products you're using. So we got the Flaming River steering column, the Spark steering wheel. We got the Dakota digital gauges. They work great. You know, really happy with those. And then of course we got the Restomod AC system, and then the retro sound stereo. And they get a USB-C charge port in there for you to plug into, charge your phone and connect. Otherwise, it's really just about drivability. Being able to get your truck as quickly as you can to the finish line. And this one didn't go real quick. There's some little things along the way that took us a little bit more time as we're getting our Revival series off the ground. But now we've got a pretty good recipe for it, and pretty happy and excited, you know, with how we're doing it. Really comfort, drivability, you know, like, you know, you can drive this thing just with one finger, drive straight, you know, super easy. It's really tight too, so there's no play. Any movement I do in the steering wheel is definitely moving the tires, so you don't have to like corral it between the lines, and so it's going to be pretty comfortable. It's also not missing some get up and go, so it's definitely going to be a cruiser. You're going to be able to cruise at 75, 85 miles an hour without any problem and be just, you know, a comfortable ride. So it's pretty fun. This is the best part about it, is just being done. Like, I love driving these things. They are so fun to drive. You're not having a bad time in it. The comfort, you can listen to tunes. We've got a couple of 8-inch subs back there, and so it just sounds really crisp and clear, and so you just have a good time. Date night with your wife, take your kids out on the weekend, you know, just go cruising, or drive it daily. Honestly, you could drive this thing daily. I always recommend getting window tint, some kind of ceramic tint. This doesn't have anything, and because it's a single cab and that sun just happens to be where it's at, that sun's kind of toasting my neck, and so, you know, everybody's used to driving cars or four-door trucks, and so you have that, you know, window tint and film that kind of keeps everything a little cooler. But some kind of tint's a little helpful, at least on the back. It also helps keep the cab a little bit cooler. Obviously, you're kind of in like a little bit of a fishbowl at times, and it can feel like it heats up. But the AC's cool. Got all these kids over here on their way to school. Let's figure out what they're doing. So that gets up and goes pretty well. That was 3/4 throttle. I didn't want to do anything too crazy. Not really the place and time to be doing that early in the morning. Kids going to school, a lot of extra cars, traffic. So need to keep it contained, but you get this thing out on the freeway and it's pretty quick. Too many people are going to be passing you. It's like driving a Corvette everywhere you go, but cloaked in a Chevy pickup truck skin, and that's pretty unassuming. People just think, oh, it's just an old pickup truck, and then they find out differently that this thing actually handles so well, and then also performs and just like gets down fast. So it's pretty cool. But the Revival series in essence is this: ship us your truck. It's a nice truck, you love it. We'll paint the engine compartment for you, clean it all up. We're gonna swap it over, and we're gonna get you rewired up and get you in it. If your door glass is good and you want to leave all that stuff just like that, great. In this case, we put a new windshield in it and a little bit of new rubber and stuff, and of course new interior. And then after that, let's just get it driving again and get it back to you as quickly as we can. So that's in essence what we're shooting for. And so as we continue to fine-tune that down, for people, and we're hoping to move into kind of some fixed cost pricing where people will know up front what that fixed cost will be. We just have to kind of perfect that system just a little bit before we can do that. So super cool. We're gonna head back to the shop really and get this thing ready for the customer to have it picked up. It's exciting for us to have another one out the door. The Revival series gives us an opportunity to kind of prove and test the systems that we're developing, and then get things done in a really quick, time efficient process. And so not a lot of bells and whistles to this thing. Got a F-150 horns. We keep those in stock, and so we just use them. It's all the same, but they look the same. Everything's the same. I'd be surprised if they're even really truly different from a Chevy. You get that dual horn, but also sounds like modern too, instead of too old school. But yeah, that's it. I mean, we're headed back to the shop, and we'll wrap up the video there, get this thing one final wipe down, and off to the customer. Hopefully you got an idea of what the Revival series is all about. Simple, clean swap, right? Let's get your sheet metal on your new chassis, whether you're driving a Ford or a Chevy, and you've got a nice little pickup truck that doesn't have a lot of rust, because we're not going to fix rust. We're not going to do any of that kind of stuff. It's got to be something that we can just move it over and get it on there. So pretty clean truck. This one's finished. We're going to go get it wiped down. A couple little things that I noticed I want addressed, and then off to the customer. So this will be leaving here today, headed to Idaho. He'll probably get it within the next day or two, and he'll be driving it. We're super excited for him. Got over 1,000 miles on it, so we know it's good. It's ready to go, and he's going to have a good time. We'll see you next time.